I'm Gladys, and welcome to Gladys Creations. I'm glad that I can finally give you a face to the videos that you've been seeing prior. Today I'm going to be in a collaboration with my friend Nikki, okay? And she and I came up with a animal themed collaboration, which is all animals. It's not just your pets, it's all animals themed, and we're going to be doing this on a monthly basis. And the reason why we came up with this is that we're always, as crafters, talking about our pets or animals that we love, and we figured let's get a collaboration together where we can talk about these things and create things for the love of our animals, okay? And give some little tips and ideas. And that way it becomes like a little kind of community thing, a crafters community thing. So today we're going to be doing crafts themed all animals, okay? And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you join us on a monthly basis. We'll be doing this on the 3rd of every month, okay? So let's get on with our DIYs. I won't keep you any longer. Hi, welcome back again, all right? And thank you for joining us on our collab. And let's get on with our DIYs. And here's the wood round that I'm going to be using. And I'm also going to be using this little heart shape. And I'm also going to be using this little old plaque. And I'm going to sand that down and get rid of the paper and all that. And then I'm going to use these 2 squares. Okay. We're going to be making little crafts of pictures of my pets. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use that white chalk paint, okay? And this one is the first board we're going to start with, and I already painted it white to prime it. Now I'm going to go with hazelnut, and I'm going to be applying hazelnut all over it because we're going to crackle paint this, okay? So right now I'm going to paint that, and then I'll be right back with the magic of video, okay? Okay, here we are, all painted up now in the hazelnut. And right now what I'm going to do is use some Elmer's glue, and I'm going to just show you the beginning parts of it. I'm just going to show you how I paint it with that, and then I'm going to be painting it with buttermilk afterwards, okay? So this is what is going on. And there we are. We're just painting it with the Elmer's glue, and we're going to use those strokes, okay? Well, I'm going to do a continuous stroke across because I want this to look like wood planks, okay? And that's why I'm doing it that way. I don't want any stops in between, and I'm going to try to keep it going in one direction. You see how I corrected that? All right, and I'm going to be doing that all the way down to the bottom. And I think I'm going to show you the whole thing. Oh my goodness. I thought I cut it out. I'm sorry about that if I didn't. Let's see. Nope, I didn't cut it out. But as you see, I'm just painting the school glue and cleaning up the edges and going across, just trying to do it all in one straight line across, okay? So it doesn't cause any splits, because if you stop like in between those little lines right there, I'll do a break, like I'll make it look like it's a separate panel, and I don't want that. I want it to look like one piece, okay, one panel across. Later on, I'll be doing, you'll see me that I'll show you how I divide it so you don't see that. Okay, and let's see. I think I'm gonna start painting now. Yes, and I do show you that I was gonna paint it with buttermilk, but I ran out of buttermilk, so I'm gonna be using antique white. All right, and there I go. I show you how I painted that across, and I did it. I speeded it up because I know you don't want to sit there and watch me paint. You know how to paint, and I take my heat gun and apply the heat gun so you could see it, the crackle, how it takes effect really nice. You see that? You see it crackling? Oh my God, it comes out so beautiful. I haven't had crackle paint like this in a while. I've been having problems and issues. People tell me use a blow dryer, heat gun, don't use a heat gun and stuff. Here I used the heat gun and my paint didn't bubble. It didn't, and I kept it moving like almost as fast as what the video is going, even though I speeded up this video and stuff. But yeah, this really worked, and I really liked it the way it crackled up, and it dried up pretty quick too. I thought it was gonna take a little bit longer, but it didn't. Okay, now I am gonna be applying Mod Podge in the center because I'm gonna be letting this dry, and I'm gonna apply my picture through the iron-on method. And this is the picture. There goes my Hayes. He's such a cute doggy. He is very clumsy. I don't want to say he's dumb, but he's one of those dogs that are just like airheaded, you know? And that's what makes him even cuter, because he's like a big doofus. And I just love and adore him. Now you see it, I ripped a little bit of a hole there in the picture. And what I did was I just took a little bit of that, the same hazelnut, and just rubbed it with my finger. Later on, you'll see when it dries, it fades away and blends with him. Okay, and then I just take all the edges and I put Mod Podge to seal the edges really good and the picture really good. And those are 3 pictures. That one picture on the bottom where he's in a cage, that's my Yorkie's cage. And he like got himself in there. Like, I don't know how he fit and how he got out, but he fit and he got out. All right, you see how I showed you the burnt umber paint? I'm going to take that and get a really thin paintbrush, and I'm going to do those lines. Remember I told you I wanted to make this look like planks. So I'm going to take my little brush right there and make little planks. You see, and that's how I do it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. That I do remember that I did cut out. So I'm just going to show you when I do 2 planks, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, but you see that, and I didn't do a straight even line either, because nope, old wood plank is even and straight. So there you go, and there I finish it off, and we go on to our next step. Oh, excuse me. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take antique wax, and I'm not going to show you all of this either. I'm just going to show you how I started, and then we'll move on to the next step, because I have a lot of it. This video was like an hour and a half long, and I had to cut down the video. All right, so I'm sorry about that. Now there you see I took my Dollar Tree staple brush and a Dollar Tree brush. Okay, and I just stamp stomp on the edges a little bit, as you see. And then I'm sorry I'm a little bit off camera here, but you could see a little bit of what I'm doing. And I just like pounce it up and down around the edges to clean up that white of the picture. And then I smooth it out into the planks to make them look old and dingy and a little bit dirty, like. And I do that all around his picture, okay? And it blends in everything. It makes the picture look like it was painted onto the wood, okay? And it's so cute. Like, the video and the pictures do not make justice for this. I mean, in person, it comes out so cute. And then he's so adorable. All right. Now here, I take my white paint. And at first, you barely could see what I'm doing, but I mean, excuse my finger, but my finger's gonna get in the camera, but it's that I'm gonna be moving that camera so you could see better. Right there, you see, I pull it down, yeah, right there, so you could see what I'm doing. I'm making doggy bones, going different directions, okay, to add on as my border. Okay, and there you go. You see the doggy bones, and I do the top two corners also, okay, the same way. And there you go. You see that? And then I do the other one that goes down. Do the same. And then I do the other corner the same way. Then after this, I'm going to jump into doing the white I'm going to do the background so it pops a little bit of a paw print. Okay, you see that? Okay, and I do the same thing on every corner there. I do it in white, but then I'm going to come in with the burnt umber over top of that, so it pops a little bit, and it gives it a little bit of volume too, like it gives it height. Okay, like make it a little puffier because I'm applying 2 coats of paint on something. Okay, and there we are. And now I get the burnt umber. See, I'm sorry you couldn't see it, that was quick, but it's burnt umber that I used, okay, from Apple Barrel. And I'm sorry I'm off camera, but all I'm doing is just painting right over that paw print. You see how you see it now? Okay, and I'm sorry, I do watch my camera often because I hate that when I get off camera and you can't see what I'm doing. And I also hate when my camera changes its ratio and goes into portrait mode from landscape mode, and then you can't really see what I'm doing. So I don't like that. Now I take my Posca pen, I'm sorry, and I trace over the bones, you know, so you can notice them a little bit better. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right there. I'm a little off camera again, I'm sorry about that. And in the final reveal, you get to see this a lot better. I give it up close, and I do sign all my pictures. Okay, every craft I make, I sign. All right, and there you are. I'm moving on to the next video. Okay, the next DIY, and this one is my doggy Bliss. And all I'm doing is Mod Podging individually all the pictures onto here, because it being so dark, I'm scared that it's gonna bleed into the white paint, and I don't want any black paint or dye to get on it. So there, all I do is just Mod Podge it on and smooth it out with my finger, and then I'll get some parchment paper and go over it and give it a little bit of heat to seal it better. And that's where I get the parchment paper. And look, I got a new iron. My other iron was like so and there I smooth out the picture a little bit more. And then now I'm gonna take some spackle. It's lightweight spackle from DAP, and I take the pink parfait and I blend it. And I use the darker pink paint because it's going to lighten with the spackle. And all I do is take my stencil brush from Dollar Tree and I just pounce all around. I'm not going to show you all of this either. Basically, all I do is just step all around, like pounce all around to give it a little bit of texture, okay? Because I wanted it texturized. And I want to blend the pictures together with the paint so you don't see the picture lines, okay? And there it is, all done. Okay, and I'm bringing my camera in. I'm sorry about my hands getting in the way, but I wanted to bring the camera in closer, and we're going to use the burnt umber, and we're going to do a little bit of a trimming just only on the bottom there of paw prints, okay, and hearts. And I show you here, I do a really big paw print in the shape of a heart, a crooked heart, ghetto heart. I'm not too good with painting hearts. They always something. They're either lopsided, crooked, one side fatter than the other, and it really annoys me, but I try. There you go. And then what I do is I do 2 more little ones on the side, and I do it on both sides. And then I'm only going to show you me painting one side, okay? Because once you see the one design, the other side is basically going to be the same thing, okay? So now I'm going to do like little stitches going up, like to show an extension. All right, and there I do, and I keep getting my paw print smaller and smaller as I go up, okay? And that's that part of it. And then once I'm done with that, I get my crimson red, and I had a little boo-boo there. You see a little spill. And I just add on a couple hearts here and there on the trim, and that's all I do. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end. And that's the end of this one. Yeah, that's the last heart right there. Oh no, I put 2 on the bottom. Okay, I put 2 on the bottom because what I do on one side, I do on the other. And that's the end. And you'll see that picture better in the final reveal, okay? On to our next one, Max. This is my little Yorkie. And I'm going to be cutting it out with that scissors, okay? It's one of those crafty scissors. And I do it all around. And then I'm going to take this blue foam, and I'm going to be gluing it on with Type On Quick and Thick. And I did that. I did it with the picture. And then the edges, I'm going to seal the edges because you see how they're lifting with Mod Podge. I'm not going to show you all of this either. All I do is just do the edges. See, up to there, I think I show you, and just smooth it out. Okay. And then I rolled it out a little bit because I do have a little bit of bumps and creases in it and stuff, but you can't get them all out. All right, now I'm sorry about my dog barking over here. Hayes, cut it out. See, I tell you, he's a handful. I'm here trying to record, and I don't want to be inside because it's so beautiful out. It's been raining for days here, like for 2 weeks straight, and it's finally beautiful out. So I'm trying to enjoy the outside weather. And I'm sorry here. Here I bring the camera down a little bit closer because on the corner I'm just drawing a picture of a doggy. It's not a picture of a Yorkie. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but it's a cartoonish dog, okay? And he's gonna have Max's colors. Now Max, he's my bad doggy. Like I have 2 pit bulls, and they don't bite, and they're loving and sweet and stuff. Not my Yorkie. My Yorkie's mean, bites, doesn't want anybody to touch him or hold him. The only one that he likes really is me, and he's only friendly really with me. So there, see, I painted the little mouth, and then I'm painting the little tail. Well, I'm not painting, drawing. I'm at just sketching with my pencil. So it's I have detail to follow when I'm painting. Okay, and yeah, like I was saying, Max is really can be lovable sometimes, but not always. All right, these are the paints that I'm going to be using: hazelnut, burnt umber, and antique white. And I start with the hazelnut, and I paint the ears. Now I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to show you how I paint, what I paint in brown on the dog. And then I think I show you that I paint the body. And then I'm going to show you me painting some of the footprints. I don't show you all the footprints. I just show you, see, I'm painting the body. And then I'm going to do, I think it's 3 footprints. And then I just move on. I don't want to keep you here just watching me paint. And there you are. And now I'm going to do the footprints. I'm deciding where I want to put them at. Hayes, I'm sorry about my dog barking. He follows me everywhere I go. And if anybody gets near, he starts barking like he's going to do something. And all he'll do is lick you to death. Yeah. That's my dog for you. He is a love bug. My guard dog is my Yorkie. Now that one, I wouldn't touch him. If I'm not around, don't touch him. He will bite you. Yeah. All right, there you go. And that's the 3rd one I'm going to do. I think that's the last one that I do, that I show. There you go. And then I show you it all done. And then I show you me going and painting everything in antique white now. And I do go over the lines a little bit. Okay, so you can, so you're able to see that. You'll be able to see that, it all blends in. And then I get my Posca pen in black, and I fill in everything else, and do the nose, and do the outlining, giving the texture to the picture by swishing it a little bit. And there I paint the eyes and the eyebrows, and there I go, giving it a little bit of texture look. See, all around the paws. And then I do the same thing with the body and the tail, and give it a little bit of texture. And there you go. I'm doing the belly and the neck area, and then the ears. That's next. There you go. And that's just to give it a little bit of volume and texture look. Okay. And then after that, I think we're done with this one. I think that's all I do here is do that. And and I paint the tongue red. Sorry about that. Yes, I do paint the tongue red. And then later on, when it dries, I put a little black, like little line in the tongue. Excuse me again. I'm sorry. My allergies are acting up because I'm outside. All right. So on to our next one. And this is Foofy, my cat. And she's funny. She's always going into tight, small spots and sleeping. There she's in between the heaters. She's sleeping on the bottom of the jungle gym. And then she was in my kitchen cabinet and sneaking out. And then when I looked at her, she mean mugged me like, what are you looking at? When I took that picture. Like, she got caught red-handed. So, yeah, she's so adorable. She's a love bug. She's my little fatty. And here, after I glued the picture on with Mod Podge and gave it a little bit of heat, now I'm sketching little cat pictures that look similar to Foofy. Okay? I can't sketch perfectly, but it's like a cartoon version of Foofy. Okay. And she originally was my son's cat, and he had to move out of his apartment, and he gave her to me, and she's the mama cat of my other cat and his wife. Yeah, weird. Incest amongst animals, huh? And she had a couple litters, so she's a really big chunky monkey. I had to get her neutered because it was like at least twice a year she was having kittens. She ended up having, I think it was like 5 litters. Okay, and lucky I found good homes for them all and stuff, but she was a very good mommy, always a very good mommy. So there I'm doing like her, that how she is, that she'll be sneaky and pop out of everywhere. So what I did was I put pictures of her popping out all around the edges, like she sticks out her head, or she's partially out the way, in the picture and partially out of the picture, in different positions. Okay, and then I put paw prints all around, and then I'm painting them with the pink, and I'm doing the nose, the ears, her tongue at one point, because her tongue is sticking out of that one picture, and then the other one, half of her mouth is hiding because she's being sneaky, and then the other one is like she gets even lower and she's like has her whole mouth almost gone. So I did that. Now here I lost the footage. I don't know what happened, but I did have footage. I know I recorded. I watched the camera all the time, but what happened when I was editing, I don't know. What I did was I took silver, black, and white and steepled all around that picture. Now we're going on to my boy cat, and you notice his name? Badass. And why is he called Badass? Because he's a badass. He is devious. He'll get on things, throw them down. Look at the pictures. Him sit like he thinks he's human. He'll watch TV just like that. He'll lay in front of the TV and sit down like that. And there's proof. There's 3 pictures there alone of him doing that. All right. And then when I did the Easter candies for the kids for Easter, that was him posing. He poses for the camera. Yes. He knows when you're taking pictures. All right, now here I'm taking, and instead of painting, now I'm showing you that yes, you can get prints free online and Mod Podge them on. See, you don't have to paint. So you can Mod Podge, you can use rub-on stencils, you can paint them like I normally do, or stickers, whatever you would like. You could make things out of clay, make your border out of clay. I was thinking of doing that, but with doing 5 DIYs, I didn't have time. So there you go. And that's the end of that. And the final reveal. Oh, I forgot. I put a little heart there, a little like whimsy heart, like if it was flying away. Yep. Because that's him. He's active and funny and bad. That's why his name is Badass. And now for our final reveal. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. I'm showing you pictures because I don't have a video where all of them were all set up together. So for the next video, you'll see the final results of it. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe.